the next question is actually, pretty related to that previous one. But what efforts would you focus on to address the rising cost of living and lack of affordable housing in Longmont?
Well, it gets more expensive here because people want to live here. Again, I mean, we already touched on that. I think I've spent a lot of time touching on the affordable housing and such, but we can go down a path right now. We have our electric rates are going up. So the city at one side of their mouth talks about trying to do everything they can to create affordable housing. And out the other side of their mouth, we're raising electricity rates a lot. So our city, way back at the start of the city, there was a Chicago group came down and started our city. And they started a power plant. So we have our own power plant. It's called Rawhide, and it's a coal-fired power plant. And the city has embarked on this idea by 2030 that we're going to be 100% renewable by then. And so they have these scheduled shutdowns. There's actually 3 generators that we have some say in, but the big one is from the Rawhide plant. It's my understanding. I'm doing a tour of that plant later on this month. Gosh, my phone just keeps beeping. I'm sorry, it's distracting me. But what is going on? Are you still there, Robert?
Yep, I'm still here.
I got a new phone and I don't know how to do this. I would like to. It's a woman that's helping me with the campaign. An outcome of this pursuit of 100% renewable is that our electricity rates are going up, and they're going up a lot. It's 6.4% I think this year, and 6.4% next year, and it's really chasing a fairy tale because there is no chance that by 2030 every electron consumed in our city is going to come from renewable resources. So decide that we can just declare that we're going to shut down our coal power plant and all our energy will come from renewable is just pure fantasy. And it actually, the insidious part of it is it might be the less green option. So when the sun goes down and PV arrays are not producing power, and particularly if the wind isn't blowing at night, there's really only one way we're going to get power, and that's going to be from a carbon-based source, coal, natural gas. And if we've shut down all our coal power plants, we're going to have to buy power at night from Wyoming or Kansas or some other far-flung location that's using coal or natural gas to generate power, and there's line loss involved in that. And so, we might need, let's say a megawatt at night. And if we need that amount of electricity, if it's coming from Wyoming or Kansas, they might have to produce 1.5 megawatts or something to get it here versus if we were just producing it locally. So I know that was a little deviation, but that's one way I would do. So you wanted to know how I try to make housing and living here more affordable. I would do what I can to keep our electricity rates down and exploit the competitive advantage that we have with our power plant. That attracts business. It let me say energize the business community, right? By keeping our rates low and trying to make our utilities as affordable as possible while still keeping them at high reliability and quality.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate how you bring power into that discussion, because I think that's something that gets overlooked in the affordable housing aspect is the utilities. Because it's not simply enough to just put someone in a house. They have to be able to pay for, power, for internet, for, heat, water, things like that. So,
absolutely.
The acquisition cost of the house is one thing, but the operation is a whole other game.
It absolutely 10-4 on that one. So I'd like, I would look at the big picture and see where we could make things affordable across the board. Longmont also, right? We're not Hawaii. We're not on an island. You can commute to a number of nearby communities real easy. And let's just imagine that we could, city council could wave some magic affordability wand and make housing 10% less. People from Meade, Erie, Berthoud, Louisville, Broomfield, Thornton, whatever. They're going to see Longmont as a more affordable location, and they're going to swoop in and fill those spots, and then that's going to push the rates back up. So it's bumper sticker politics. It's the allure of a seemingly simplistic solution, but it's complicated. And when you start really trying to solve it in ways, people understand real fast. They're like, oh, well, if we push this down over here, this thing pops up, and so we have to push down over there. And it's really, it's the free market trying to exercise itself. And ultimately, what you get at, if you take it to the logical conclusion, is government housing. That's really the only way that government can affirmatively and durably and long term keep housing prices down for some segment. But that's a terrible outcome. I mean, government housing has a long and inglorious history in the United States of being just horrible for communities. So I would not go there on that.